Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome in. And for those who are currently experiencing a timeout, OBS is being OBS again. Welcome. This will be on the stream. I don't know why OBS has to do this all the time to us, but they sure love doing it. And we're back. As I was explaining, folks, my apology for the disconnect that OBS 28.3 loves to do. Yeah, it's annoying as you can get, but I will guarantee you, folks, this video is in its entirety, will be up shortly in a couple days. This just irritates me when OBS does these things. Let me make sure VATSIM has come back. It does not look like it. So hang on a second. I don't know if that's our internet provider giving us garbage or more than likely OBS causing garbage. So here we go. We're back up on VATSIM. I tell you, if it's not one thing, folks, it's another when it comes to this. And it does get it to a point where I just really sometimes don't feel like streaming because I'm tired of dealing with it. So maybe that's what the gods are telling me to do, is just end. So I don't know, but it is annoying as all get out. So hopefully OBS pulls its you-know-what out of its you-know-what and gets things squared away. I doubt it, but you know, hey, we can always hope for it. But anyway, let's get back to what we're all here for today. And again, my apologies for the disconnect. Folks, I've turned everything down as low as I can. If OBS can't handle it, well then, well. So, all right, so we're sitting on the line here at McConnell Air Force Base, Kansas. Now, the reason the title said severe storms to dense fog, well, when I flight planned this before I got involved in a couple of quick little projects around the house, there were severe storms here. Now, just a lot of rain. For all we know, could switch over to snow. Blink, you will see different weather in Kansas, trust me. Ask them, folks. They'll tell you. Weather changes that abruptly there. Severe weather, tornadoes, hail, blizzard the next second. And I don't mean hail as the blizzard. So, we're going to kind of kick off, and I do thank anyone who has come back. I saw a couple trickling in. Hopefully you'll work your way back to us and give us a try. We sure appreciate it. All right, so well, we still have heavy thunderstorms showing on the METAR here. So, all right, so hang on a second here, since OBS was being the booger that it loves to do to us. Let's put that there and that there. All right. So here on the line is the KC-46. Now, a lot of you may not be familiar with this plane, but it is the Air Force's, United States Air Force's newest tanker. And it's been a while since they put a new tanker in the skies, KC-10 being the last one. Oh yeah, the C-130s, but they've been around for folks as long, if not longer, than B-52s. So think about that. Actually, no, I think B-52 will still outage it. But anyway, a lot of new stuff though in this tanker. Whereas now, granted, this is not the tanker. Two ways to know it's not the real plane. One, they did it off a 767-300. The actual aircraft is built off the frame of a Dash 200. Secondly, do you see a boom back here? No. It's a fictional representation, folks, you know, and I mean, it looks overall really good. I'm still on the wall, on the fence with the paint. I think there might be a little too much blue in it, but you know what? It's in this light, it looks right. So, anyway, so that's when you guys yell at me and go, that ain't a KC-46, that's a 767-300. You would be right. But the gentleman or lady did a really good job with the paint, really good job with it. And by the way, there are no 76200s in FlightFactor or Captain Sim for that matter that are a cargo plane. So stick that in your pipe and you know what to do with it. So let's move into the cockpit area, shall we? All right, it's typical 767 panel, folks. We all know, we all love this plane, especially one guy out there probably working today flying one of these. Not this, but a 767. So hopefully we can keep OBS at bay and we're able to have no more of those fun disconnects. So speaking of which, let's pop in here, pull up Sim Toolkit, do a quick brief, and get this girl in the air, because you know what? We're going to be doing a little work today, folks. No, we're not going to refuel anyone, sorry. As much as I would love to do that, one, we don't have the boom, so it won't really be realistic. And two, it's been a long time since I've refueled someone with Sim Air Force. Might be something worth getting into if I get an aircraft that actually has a boom, actually has the drogues to come out for the Navy. And here's a novel thought, air refuel in F-14. I wonder who has one default in their simulator. Let you all ponder that one. All right, so there you go, folks. You can see what is on top of us. And yeah, we still have storms. You can see the rain from time to time on the windshield. So let's get into it. Now with Sim Toolkit, by the way, free. Yeah, you heard that right, folks. That wasn't a slip of the tongue. It is free. Click the double clipboard here. And this will give you a really good flight summary, if you will. It'll give you your airport information and your actual, if you use the default version that I call default Lido, you'll get a really easy to read breakdown of your flight, which is what SimBrief had, by the way, which is what was imported into here. Oh, all of which free. I know that's a word, folks, very foreign to Microsoft users. To explain it, you know, it's more common than you think. Although things are changing, I will admit to that, folks. All right, so here's where we are, KIAB, McConnell. We're going to McGuire Fort Dix, let me see if I can get the whole tongue twister out. Lakehurst, Joint Base. Let me rephrase that. Joint Base, McGuire, Fort Dix, Lakehurst, Base in New Jersey. Never mind. You know, it's just too hard. The military is making things, of course, as usual, as complicated as possible. Can't keep it simple, even though their model is to kiss it. Well, maybe they kiss something else. But anyway, that's another story, another day down the road, and I could get into trouble if I go further with that. All right, so we're going to use runway. Technically, one right is closed in the real world. Why? Because they got money coming off trees and they can do whatever the heck they want in the Air Force. That we, the taxpayers, flit. Two, might go with one left to be appropriate with NOTAMs. We'll see. Not ever too worried about this one. This is the one that we work off our landing data when we get done. So we always want to make sure this is correct. Okay, we're going to go to the loadout. 2 people in a cockpit. Technically, that's wrong. There's usually 4 or 5, because at least a guy right behind the pilot is running the boom. Yeah, I said that right, folks. Behind the pilot, not back of the plane like they used to. Told you, new technology in this plane. We're going to carry 97,000 pounds to McGuire, and then I would think in the real world this would be a fuel stop, and then we punch over to the pond, although this plane should be able to make it from McConnell. Weather real quick. Winds out of the north, 14. And I can attest to that. Actually, I'll put about a 3 or a 4 in front of that here in St. Louis. 8 miles of visibility, heavy thunderstorm action, overcast at 700. Anyone pay attention to the opening screen? I'll show it again. I want you to pay close attention to it. 4 degrees and 3 degrees, so there's where we're starting to see some foggish happen here, and 2982 on the altimeter. So that's there. If we were getting an ATIS, it would show here, and I have had airports show me their ATIS here. It's pretty cool. All right, so get rid of that real quick. Sorry about that. Get rid of that. Click, click. There we go. All right, now over here is your basic flight plan if you went to SimBrief. Okay, we're going to go with a CONST index of 90. We'll see how that translates out. It didn't do well over to West Virginia, so we'll see. We're looking at about 957-ish miles. That's because we have a wind at our back, 70 mile an hour. So I think that somehow translates into helping us with the air miles. I just don't get it. So again, I'm a private pilot, folks. All I got to worry about is what section will say, what's the E6 say, boom, we're out of here. They, on the other hand, have to worry about all of this. Okay, we got the CF6 in there. We have a estimated 0 fuel weight, which will match over here. 295,120. Our gross weight, 338,541, matches minus the taxi, minus the taxi fuel for takeoff. That's what the 1,000 pounds is missing there. So everything looks good. And finally, here's our fuel breakdown. If we go to an alternate, because I told you it is very foggy, we're about to see that here in a second. This is the route, and it is a weird one. I am assuming, I'm not going to assume anything. It is 276 miles on this route, and it's very close on Professional Flight Planner. I'm here to tell you, folks. But yeah, this takes you out west, up north, back east, down south, back to Stewart Air National Guard Base north of New York City. So that's what I'm assuming. We're going way around the city so we can see the Catskills. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, we can even get to flight level 350. Does that tell you something? It's a long alternate. That's why a lot of fuel is in this plane. Our route's pretty simple. We'll load it up here in a moment. And then finally, breaking down times and the insides here too. 96,000 pounds of cargo. Payload overall, 97.1. Add a couple zeros, folks. As many as you would like. And in your mind, that's what we'll fly. All right, I told you I'd give you the what it is now there. Again, it was dense fog, so it could have lifted by now. I have not looked since I got this about an hour or two ago. And it has 10 miles visibility. So the dense fog more than likely won't happen. However, if you look at this TAF down here, overcast 100, so it could come back at us. We'll see. We're ready for a Cat 3 if we have to. All right, so that takes care of that. And that, folks, is our pre-brief. While we're at it, real quick, you know what? Let me go ahead and get our taxi in here. Bring it up on NavGraph. He says cautiously, hello, are you going to work? There we go. Okay, and taxi real quick, folks. We're parked here. Yes, those of you that live and work near McConnell, yes, the airplane's actually parked north-south, not east-west. Hey, easy mistake. They don't do military bases in any sim worth a darn. The fact that we actually have parking spots at a military base, thumbs up by me. But anyway, we're going to taxi out of here to Alpha, all the way down to Echo. We'll either take runway 1 because we want to, or we'll just cross over and take 1 left like the NOTAM says we're supposed to. So, as Sim World, we can kind of fudge NOTAMs. They don't even read them in the real world, so what's the difference? You would be shocked how many calls in a day I get. We're coming into the golf ramp. Okay, did you put a prior call in? Didn't see it. Oh, you didn't see the NOTAM, huh? Okay. Hand them off to the appropriate agency. All right, gotta have fun with that, sometimes fun. All right, so there we are, there's our route, and that was our taxi brief, folks. And really, departure, because there is no SID out of here. All right, so we are going to get rid of Sim Toolkit. Let's get this plane going, shall we? We're only about an hour after what I wanted to start at, so. Okay, that's not what I wanted. This is what I want. All right, so we have already got the basics started, meaning we have all the equipment still up at the plane. Okay, real quick, going through them so you all know the acronyms when you see them. Should you buy this aircraft? It's really, you know, folks, I am not 100% yet ready to say it's good for X-Plane 12, but it does work. We've had some quirks, and we were going to do an X-Plane 11 run just to see if they were really that. By the way, did you all notice the raindrops in the puddles? Pretty cool, huh? I'm sure. I know. Well, we got that over in Musfuss, dude. Whoa. Okay, fine. Enjoy. All right. Anyway, we got LSUs here. Oh, I know what I brought that up for. This. Okay, so your LSUs are these little guys, and that guy comes with them, and you can see it this way more. A little baggage guy. Next up, chocks. Do I need to go any further with that one? Stairs. How about that one? No, I didn't think so. GPU, that sits right there, folks. Now, the one that always got me, we'll get to in a minute. Yeah, it was always the fuel truck, folks. I always have a hard time figuring out that one. All right, the ACU. That sucker is right back here, and it's the air conditioning unit. Don't know what LSU loads. I can't put the acronym fully together yet, but LSU is what they call them, unless they're, I'm guessing they're from New Orleans and LSU is their football team. I don't know. I don't know where they got that one from. loader unit. Now, folks, be careful with this because it does come up default with the passenger planes back here for the bulk. They really don't use it. They'll actually probably use those guys, and this actually gets used over here to load containers full of your bags in them. So, again, it all depends. Some airlines will throw the bags in like they do any plane. However, with the 767 and the fact that they haul sometimes a lot of cargo underneath you in the plane, folks, your bags may be in a cargo bin like that as well. So there you go, folks. There's it, and all the doors are open, and it is raining. So let's, without haste, get going here. We're going to zero out and zero out, putting us at 198. Okay. It is time for the $1 million calculator to come out and figure out how many pallets we're loading on. All right, and we're zero fuel weighting at 295. This is the only math I do, folks, on air. Otherwise, I get it wrong. And like I said, I got a $1 million calculator here, so I better get it right. So 97,120 is our payload. Let's divide that by 9,800. Now, y'all are asking why. This aircraft is once you know it, it's a piece of cake. But first couple of times at it, you're like, pallet, cargo weight. So that's how much cargo goes on the pallet? What's the deal? No. Each pallet that you put in there is 9,800 pounds. Period. End of discussion. You don't get to change that I've heard of. This is what I use to fill out to my zero fuel weight. So at 9,800, we have almost 10 pallets. So we only put 9. Oh, that was not what was intended. Get back here. Sorry about that, folks. Zoom right back at it. All right, so we're looking at 9. Okay, now that only brought us up to 286,200. We need to make 295,120. So 295,120 now minus 286,200. That didn't work right. Hang on, I did something wrong. 295,120 minus 286,200. 8,920 pounds. That's what I'll stick in here. Not the zero, doggone it. What did I say? 8,920? 8,920. Enter. Voila. 22,900. 295,120 pounds. And real quick, I'll pop Sim Brief here so you can, Sim Brief up here through Sim Toolkit. You can see it right up there at the top. Zero fuel weight. C Zulu Fox Whiskey. Only thing left to put in here now is fuel. And our fuel for today, 44,421 pounds. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hang on, folks. Things aren't playing nice for me. They never do. Oh, I'm trying to figure out why is some of this stuff not lined up right. All right, where were we? 444 44421. When you get it right, hit enter. We should be good now, folks. Okay, we'll perform maintenance on the plane and then we'll optimize the CG, which now brought us to a Mach of 20. Mean aircraft aircraft chord. I forget the actual meaning. I don't remember that being something we figured in a Piper, But I know we figured our weight and balance out. All right, so we got everything going. We got maintenance. We're ready to load. We've optimized, so we load. Now, if you're followed flying with Mike at all, folks, you can close this up because it really won't tell you when you're done, other than this will go away. Welcome in, Hawker 125. Hope your day is going well. We're trying to keep it quiet here, for the most part. All right, so we close out this window here, folks. Let's go back in. Let's show you the other ways to know. One, you'll be up to 44.4, I believe it'll say here. So you'll know you're good there. While I'm here, let me switch that over and these over. All right, so let's get going, shall we? So we've HPU. Oh, by the way, I love this. I wish they would have put this like that on the 737, but they didn't, because they don't talk to me, you know, like I'm an authoritative person. But anyway, so yeah, it's real nice because you can see your numbers, see your stuff here. Now, they do have it on your eCam, yes, but it would be real nice right below your fuel tanks so you know how to, gauge it a lot easier to set up. That's just me. And we're not even going to get into Airbus because, well, they actually show you your fuel total up front, so. But anyway, I know some would be very disheartened to hear the word Airbus. All right, let's get them aligning. Okay, so we've got the equipment on, the chocks on, the doors open. By the way, folks, you have to have the LSU and the cargo doors on the bottom opened, cargo loader and the cargo door open, fuel truck at the plane, and the main door open to load. If you don't have any of those, it isn't going to let you. All right, so we got 7 minutes to go, and how do I know that? It's right up here. If you just move this to status or heading status, boy, they really got this font really low. That or my eyes are really gotten a whole lot worse. It's on heading, and that'll give you, it's the same as heading status in the 737. That tells you how many minutes to alignment. All right, so we're back on nav here. We got the wipers off, we got the batteries on. Right here, the standby power generators running. We're on the buses, utility buses, and we have the Gen Connects ready to connect once the engines start. Okay, we've also armed the emergency lights. The cargo may need to jump in the event of an emergency, so they need to know where to jump. Ignition, we're going to go with an even day because today is the 4th, so 2, and we'll keep these off. Fuel pumps off, wipers are already confirmed off, position and logo lights on, window heats on, passenger signs are on because we don't want the cargo to think that it can go where it wants. It's 141 feet above sea level at McGuire. How fitting, since they used to be a C-141 boat. Melvin Leroy, thanks for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Happy birthday, by the way, Melvin Leroy. Thank you so much, sir, for the kindness. And Raiders, we hope you enjoy. We'd love you to hit follow so you can follow us along as we get this KC-46 up and going. Panicon, welcome in. So anyway, as I was saying, McGuire is at sea level of 141. And by the way, they had C-141s. Kind of a nice, easy one to remember. Oh, having a sandwich. Oh, my goodness. Melvin Leroy, you need more than a sandwich on your birthday. I think T-bone steaks for you and the family. Not on me. On streamer pay? There ain't no way I could afford that. Uh-oh. Hey, I didn't say uh-oh for you, mascot of Flying with Mac, our dog. If you didn't hear him in the background. All right, so we left off here. Equipment cooling's on. And if VATSIM would get out of the way, that would be nice. There we go. Our cabin is set for auto. Auto on our cabin temps, and our trim air and recircs are on. Now you can, if you want, go ahead and click these on. You're not going to hurt anything. You're in a sim, for crying out loud. And there you go, folks. The basics are set and ready. Let me just make sure I close all my guards, because I do have a tendency to click the wrong button at the wrong time. All right, we got now 5 minutes till we're aligned. Just drop on down to the middle panel. Let's go ahead and set in our altimeter. Altimeter, where are you? We are at 2981. Now, neat feature to the FlightFactor aircraft. I have not seen this, I don't think, with LDS, for those of you in the P3D FSX world. But you can set it here. Now, you're not going to see the error message that comes up here. I don't think I know how to scroll through here. Hang on. No, I'm not even going to attempt it. It's on page 2. It'll say altitude disagree. What you do is this little set screw here is a click spot. Click it. That message goes away, and if we go over here, it is now set to 2981. That's what doesn't disagree. That's where the disagreement occurs. Haven't seen them get into an all-out fight yet, but you never know. And you have to manually set this when you're back up. 1340 looks good. All right. Back to the middle. And pretty much landing gear down, 3 green. Flaps shows 0. Let's get over to the engine. Oil looks good. Ports are good. Hydraulics. You know what? That's one thing. Oh, we get that here. They all look good. No RFs. And brake temperatures all look good. All right. And it is now that time, folks. Let's get this FMC going. So we click, if you didn't see it, we'll do it real quick. Click FMC. Down to deposit in it after you've checked everything. So again, make sure you're on the latest and greatest. That was November 3rd yesterday until December 1 coming up in a few weeks. That is the next time we update our RNAC, and probably the last time for the year. Don't quote me on that, but I'm thinking it is. Model, this is the version of FlightFactor that you're updated to. So it just updated here a week or 2 ago to get it up to beta 8, 1.63, and it's also the same for, I think, X-Plane 11's version. And so forth. Make sure your engines are somewhat close. They are. And I don't even know if you can change. No, you can't. I just realized, no, you can't. All right, so we are at KIAB. You know what? I'm just getting one of those fears. I left the screen up. No, I didn't. Good. And we'll put our GPS in, and we'll go to route. Go here. We're going to KWRI. And this is Reach 18 is our call sign. Now, some people will go and put their runway in right off the bat. I don't. Oh, look at that. It was nice that it gave us the METAR and the route real quick. All right. Oh, we're up to 8.2. We'll get that fixed here in a minute. All right. So I am going to put the actual route in first. So it's ROKNE. Boom. And then we're going on the Joliet 134. When they're this simple, folks, I have no troubles doing them on stream. When they get to be where you're crossing Europe, from Frankfurt to Berlin and they're 2 pages long, I might probably put, no, just kidding. I'll put them in to where they're a co-route. I'm just kidding, folks. Yeah, but Europe does get complicated. They, every 10 feet seem to put you on a different airway, it seems like. Even though I know it's not that bad. Sure seems it, though. All right, so we are now J110. Oh, and we'll take that to LeJoy. Guess what? We're almost done. L-E-J-O-Y. Please make sure I spell things right. It should error if you put something in here that it's not connected right. Then we go up to Harrisburg. H-A-R. Oh boy, which one? Well, we're not in the Eastern Hemisphere, so that pretty well nails this one. And that's it, folks. Activate it, execute. Now, once we align, real quick, let me kind of in the background here. This will become just like that. Poof, amazing, just like that. It'll color in, and this will turn into what you're used to. Just because that's bugging the heck out of me. There we go. Now we could go through, but I'm going to first put in our runway. All right, so we have no SIDS. We're going to go ahead and plan one left just to play it by the virtual FAA rules. Geez, they don't let us have any fun in the sim. All right, now we can save it. I got to put a file name in, so poo-poo on that. But we can do a route copy. All right, so what we can do from here is click legs. She's got legs. Oh, sorry, wrong forum for that. Oh man, I just lost viewers. Doggone it, there I went again singing. All right, so we're on the legs page. Now what I did down here is click the EFIS over to plan. We're going to step through. Okay, there's our first fix. No long out of the place lines. Working our way down. Things looking good. Indianapolis. Oh, whoa, where are we? Oh, St. Louis. I saw Indianapolis. Oh, wait a minute. And VHP. There's NDVHP. Grip. Day empty. Okay, everything's looking good. Out to air. There's LeJoy, then Harrisburg, then our destination, which there will be a star into there. Looks good to me, folks. Go back to route, come back to map, mainly so I don't forget. And then we're going to continue on to the perf init. Now, let's see if this one gets it right, this version. I'm leaning that it won't. So I'm pulling it up so I know what it really is. And nope, it's off by about 5,000. I'm going to have to check numbers on this to make sure I've got it right. All right, so we're actually at 295.1. Boink. And because of the lengthy run to Stewart, and like I said, folks, it's basically taking us around, and I mean the long way around New York City. You know, going around is already the long way. No, they go the long, long way around to the tune of, what did I say, 280 miles? I'm like, ooh, that's from here to Chicago almost, here in St. Louis. So that's half my trip almost. It's only 957 air miles. All right, so 16.1 will be our reserve. We're going to cruise it at 35,000. Cost index, we'll start at 90 and see how horrible we get on a Mach on that. Last time we got like 0.69 at 33,000. That is nowhere correct. So we'll see how it does this time. I'm again expecting it not to be well. Cruise winds are 248. Diagonal 70. Nice push from behind. That's that great raid we got from Melvin Leroy, giving us that great push to the east coming out of the west there. Yeah, you like how I went there, guys? All right, we'll get our CG in. We'll go to the next page. All right, let's pull up and quick METAR just to get the wins. Uh, 360 at 14. So I wonder if Mr. Leroy has snow on the ground, because I saw it snowing quite heavily out west. Or has been, let's put it that way. 6 degrees we're showing up here for our outside air temp, so we'll put that in here. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and bring this in because I want to find out if we have a slope. Because, folks, compliments of B4 attitude, or otherwise known as bad attitude, I finally figured this out. Thanks to him. Actually, he figured it out to help me get it in there right. So let me get TopCat in here. This is a payware item, folks. But I really find it useful on the 737-800. I'm not sure if they have any of the other 737s. PMDG usually is in their lineup that they give you the performance for. 747, 777, MD-11, and a bunch of others. Airbus 220 is in there as well. And what it does is it'll bring up, you'll get this page after you've visited here and filled in all the great data here from your zero fuel, working it from here. Your fuel, you can pull all of this off of SimBrief, folks. Just copy paste, copy paste. You may have to fudge numbers to get it to what you need, but you get the point. Then you come here, click update. Yeah, I think we'll go still with a wet runway. Now they're showing 2979. That's odd. We'll have to check that. Maybe the low pressure is coming in. Now, so we got a wet runway. We're going to take off only because I don't know how to set this thing into takeoff 1, takeoff 2. More importantly, here, I don't know how to change that. So, I mean, it'd be neat to eat up the whole runway here at McConnell. I think it's like 12,000 feet long. 10. It's at least 10. I know that. But let's get the slope. +3. So we'll go up 0.3. Look at that. It doesn't do that in the 730s. It's a little different, but still very simple. Now we actually have a slope in here. And they're calling the outside air temperature 4 degrees. So we'll stick with what we're showing here. Next page. And, so now once we have all of this filled out, we also can see that our runway heading is 08. There's our 12,000. And if we were to really want to have fun, I can throw MELs. These are the only ones, but I could throw them in there. And it'll adjust for them. But we don't have any. It's a brand new plane, folks, for crying out loud. They haven't broke it yet. That's next week. All right, so 51 degrees will be our select temperature out of here. Basically meaning we're going to be, instead of at 105% on the engines, they're going to actually be throttled up to 94.3. And that translates out to a little bit of savings in both fuel and service. That means a little not so hard on it, so that they get as much time out of it in between the major engine stuff they do. And then you get your V1 rotate V2 speeds. V1 is your safety speed. If you get an engine fire indication. We've seen parking brake sensors now cause this, which I understand that's a very serious problem. Really, when you think about it, it is. I've seen the byproduct of them landing with that out at Scott Air Force Base about 30 years ago. An F-14 spun down the runway because the brake had locked. So I've seen the byproduct of that. I don't want to see that with an Airbus. That could be very ugly. So that's your safety. So if you cross this speed, folks, and that happens, you commit now to rotate and go airborne. But if up to that point, reject. And then this is to clear a 50-foot obstacle. Should be 1,900 feet remaining. I'm doubting that just because of the way real-world conditions and stuff. We get close, though. I will say they do get close. So let's see what we got here. Flaps will be 5. Turn the reference speeds on. Hey, they're right in the ballpark. 145, 152, 150. Let's go with them, folks. We'll turn it back off. I think it's because we're going a little bit heavier is why V2 is heavier. These are a little heavy. So there you go, folks. The FMC is fully programmed now for the flight. We'll move into the center here and do a couple things with the main panel. Name the speed. I take V2 plus 10. Again, our runway heading is 008. And for now, we'll set it at 10,000 until I'm 100% sure Kansas City has not come up. So we'll now dial up to 35. I know I can. Well, actually, no, I can't. I don't know how to stop it from doing that. But sometimes I like it being able to do that. Because when I want to try to read this, I have to zoom in. Otherwise, I can't read it out here. It's real blurry. And yes, I have my glasses on. But again, thanks Melvin Leroy for the great raid and raiders for sticking around. We sure appreciate you. All right, so that, folks, gets everything set up here. Let's go ahead, pop the flight directors on. And we are done. And we should be definitely done loading. Still cruddy day here. 44.0, we are done. And again, those of you that came in with the raid may not have seen us start loading. There's a couple of ways you can tell the aircraft is loaded. What I mean here is, from this page, you put your information in, maintenance, optimize, and then load. You'll either see the load message go away, that it's loading, or when you're done and unloading. The easiest one, though, is your fuel, is where you want it at, 444. In our case, 44,420 pounds. Or reduced to 44.4. Okay, so with the aircraft loaded, let's, and you know what? Top Cat did not come in, did it? Or did I already get rid of it? Real quick so you can see it. I don't know if it came in or not. Real quick, you just fill this information out, come to the takeoff. Here's where we got our slope. If it wasn't up there again, just because and then click update. Now it's 01012. Folks, it's just flipping around out there from the north. We're good. Takeoff on, wet runway, go. 51, 144, 153, 158. There you go, 94.3. Again, here's where you can see the inoperatives, if there are any. And if they shorten your runway, you know, or shorten it from the departure end or from the approach end. All right. So let's move on and let's move on here. Got to close things up. Stick our head back outside. Again, I think it's a little blue in the coloring there, but when it gets in the air, folks, it does gray up. Really interesting. TimDog53, thank you for the follow. We sure appreciate you joining the stream. Hope you enjoy the KC-46, on its way to McGuire. Let's get this girl closed up. Let's go to plugins, 757. Ground. I like pulling the ground equipment first. First out, LSUs. Everything just disappears, folks. It's nothing like, oh my gosh. You know, I'm sorry, just not a lot of great animations here, but it's nice to see the eye candy. Don't get me wrong. All right, and now we'll go ahead and close up the bird. We'll go ahead and close them all. Little fast, I will say, little fast with especially this door. Probably the others as well. But okay, the main door, and that's closed. So we'll come back one more time. And I am just going to kick the stair away. I did this once last time, and I just went, okay, get rid of the GPU and the ACU. Went, oh crud, the APU isn't on. Ugh. All right, speaking of which, let's get that APU running. The forward left pump is what will go dark when you do, if you leave them off. So I just turn it on. The checklist I run with, folks, actually tells me to turn them all on. I am just going to do what I need. Okay. And I have to blow them out to make them look better. And you can see it spools up. Now, one thing with the engine start here, and I hope someone from FlightFactor is watching. Engines fire up very quickly here, folks. Very quickly. So, very unrealistically quickly. And I have, we have a follower, Freight Dog, Mark LDS is what he goes by on stream. But anyway, he flies these planes for a living. Yeah, even he was shocked how fast it spooled up. So will you when we get there. All right, so the APU's up. To me, that's about right. I mean, that can be squibbled about how long it takes. Go on the APU gen, bring the bleed on, make sure I've got everything lined out right. All right. Now we're on the gen. Turn that off. Don't tell me it just... I was on the gen. Really? Am I gonna have to put the flight plan in again? I think I am. Oh, my apologies, folks. All right, bear with me. Thankfully, it's not a long flight plan, as you all saw. Oh, that just irritates me that I did it right and I didn't do it right. All right, let me look at our route again. My apologies for this, folks. Just kind of irritated me. Uh-oh, that's not good. Hallelujah. Okay. R-O-K. and E. Oh, missed the K somehow. R-O and E. Juliet, 134. Juliet, 110, I think it is. Yep. To LaJoy. To Hare. West, 1250, that one. Activate, execute, departure. On left, execute. Yeah, we'll just leave it for now. We'll fix it in flight. Next page. 16 point. $350. 90. Well, why are you doing that one? That was weird. Okay. 90, 248 at 70. Zero, 1, 0, diagonal 12. Okay, and back. 5. You know what? Where, I just figured something out. Where do you put in a wet runway? They don't have that modeled here. Huh. So we'll do it. 1, 4, 3. 1, 5, 3. 1, 5, 8. Pre-flight complete. That does kind of intrigue me. Where do we put a wet runway in at? Okay, I'm intrigued no longer. There is nowhere. Here. And we're still good across the top. No, we're not. There we go. All right, since that little snafu, sorry about that, folks. Let's get up here, make sure everything else is ready to go. Okay, and down here for the radios, Okay. And our squawk code. All right, we are set for engine start. Okay, clear that. Again, my apologies. Something's not clicking right here, but we got it going. APUs are on. Let's make sure the bleeds are set and ready. Okay, pressure's coming up. Check outside. Oh, got to get rid of a cart. Glad I always do this. And we'll kill the chocks. Always before you do that, like I didn't do, make sure your parking brake's on. Okay, so for the engine start, big thing here, folks. Packs have to be off. 737 drivers, you already know that. Some of the rest of you don't, like your Airbus folks, you gotta turn the packs off or they will not get enough air. And then all we do, make sure we're going to go number 1 first. Take it to ground. Go to engine here, which usually would be automatic in the plane, but see how fast that thing spooled up, folks? It shouldn't have been there that fast. Now, if there is a way, a setting or something in FlightFactor to make it more realistic for the engine start, I got everything else realistic. I would love it. I missed that. I may have to go back to X-Plane 11 to get back to that. Okay, so it looks like our generator is on. I'm going to leave that up as we start up number 2. We can see just... that one goes a little better, but still quite fast. Now, I guess if you're under attack, that would be great in a KC-46. Still pretty tough to get a tub up and a fighter not to shoot you on the runway. I mean, are a pretty big target. Not as big as a 7.4, but, you know, still. All right. And they're off. We're even. Let me get that out of our way and we'll do the after takeoff stuff. Hey, before attitude, welcome on. We're just getting fired up, ready to go. All right, so parking brake, left and right hydraulics on and on. Yaw dampers on. Left and right engine bleeds on. 767, yes sir. Actually, KC-46, same airplane. And bleeds on. There we go. All right, and the packs are on. The APU bleed can now go off. And so can the APU gen. Yeah, we're good. Wait, how? Well, 767. KC-46 is a is a 767. 200. Uh-oh. Why is my... oh, I know why. I remember this bug. Turn the yaw dampers off when it does that, folks. What it did... here, I'll show it to you. Okay, if you are looking at the gauge here, we're looking right here at the rudder. See how it slides it? It's an old FSX flight sim bug. A FlightFactor need to take a look at. should be able to kick the yaw dampers on actually before it starts. All right, where are we? Okay, we've got our auto brakes to reject. Taxi lights will come on in a moment. Left and right flight directors on. Auto throttle off. And we're on auto both. Yep, I can't ever see that one, that's why. State trim, something we always love to forget. 4.7. Hang on, folks. Here we go. And flaps. Going to flaps 5. Let's just see. The lever is set. Flaps are in transition. EFIS control set. 200 for decision altitude. We're on. They say 20. I say 40. I'm fine with 40. It gives me a little bit more view. Weather radar can come to weather. Not going to say it's going to show us anything, but you know, hey. Flight controls. I like doing this one because I will pay attention to the stick, because sometimes when I go this way to the left, it'll do this when I'm on approach. And you know how hard it is to do an approach with it doing that? So I like to ease it over. Never does it to the right, always to the left. Stand up, sit down, 5-5. Oh, sorry, folks. Got distracted. Always make sure it centers. Okay, one more time down and up. All right. Flight control's good. We are ready for taxi. Only an hour and 10 minutes, thanks to my stupidity somewhere along the way. All right, run. Actually, let's put that on stop to the runway. Here we go. Brakes off. And let's get a bird's eye view out of the... Again, at McConnell, they park north-south, not east-west. But we go the way the sim wants to put us. Ooh. That's the only bad thing about the wetness. I can't run certain things wide open, so it looks horrible. Let's get back. It still looks horrible. But that's me. I don't think that's actually the way X-Plane 12 overall is. So my apologies, folks. I just can't run it maxed out like a lot of you guys are able to out there. But I mean, it's a really neat feature, because if we got outside with the rain, you would actually see the rain hitting the puddles, which I think is pretty cool. Nice little bit of eye candy. All right. All right, one thing that I find pretty cool with Sim Toolkit as well, I mean, there's a lot of neat features. This one. You don't have a taxi chart handy real quick. Now, granted, I can click NavGraph and get it that way. Folks, you can bring up Sim Toolkit. And you can see it's giving you the taxiways and all. Now, granted, I've got the weather in there, so it's making it a bit cumbersome to look at. But you get the idea. You can see your taxi right there on SimBrief, on Sim Toolkit. And again, I know y'all are going, I can't afford that there flying with Mike. Sure you can, it's free. Yeah, you heard me right, free. I'll say it again, free. We are going downhill, that's why we keep accelerating, folks. All right, got a long taxi. All right, we're almost to the end, and I have no idea why I'm not seeing all of my gauges lit up. Still not. Okay, we'll work on it in flight. All right, while we're getting to the end of the runway time. All right, so speed brakes are down, flaps set, RTO set up front, and landing lights will come on, nose lights or stay on, and we'll get the MCP middle control panel, auto throttle on, and then the LNAV VNAV. And McConnell Tower, reach 18 is ready to go at the end of the runway. Reach 18, clear for takeoff, continue straight ahead. On takeoff, runway heading to 35,000. 35,000, clear for takeoff, reach 18. Okay. I know you all are asking for it in the back of your mind. They look like crap. That's why I don't run them. All right, hopefully with the upslope here, we won't be racing like we were to get here. All right, on the brakes, lights on. All right, here we go. Brakes off, auto throttle on. Here we go. And just make sure I didn't miss anything. TARA. McConnell traffic, reach 18, departing runway 1 left. Actually, I'm on 1 right. Surprise! Wait a minute, I didn't check something. Okay, we're good. Okay, another click spot on here, folks. That'll help you out a lot. Toga's right here. Again, I do think the rain puddles are pretty cool, although I don't know how you can make them different than they are, but I mean, they look good. 80 knots. All right, coming up on V1, we're good, go. V1, rotate. Okay, we're on runway heading, kinda, sorta. Gear up. All right, you're playing with me here, playing pretty hard, so we'll just do that. Heading select. Why are you pitched up so heavily? All right, we are on our way out after takeoff checks. Flaps are trying to come up as soon as we get a little bit more speed. Again, you haven't looked at the radar around here, folks. It's kind of nasty. Oh, we're starting to punch through. I somehow don't think in the real world we would be that quickly. But we are, so we'll go to flaps up. There it goes. I'm going to say, are you going to come up? Since we didn't get to do it, here it comes. And there it goes. I'm actually going to hold it at 240, not to get a bigger climb here, but to keep us from going over 250 too much. Okay, real quick, finishing up the after takeoff. Flaps are retracted. Auto brake is off, flaps up, spoilers still down. We are TARA, and I am going to click traffic here. Traffic here. Terrain there, weather here, just to see how horrible it is. Boy, that really took me for a quick loop. I thought we were in a major turn. All right, and away we go, folks. Oh yeah, I forgot to start it again. Doggone it. All right, so we got about 5 minutes running ahead of time. All right, so we are on our way, folks, to McGuire Air Force Base in a pretty decent looking KC-46 minus the tail boom. Nice weather though, look at that. Let's kind of zoom on the plane and get a couple screenshots while we're here, folks. Okay, back into cockpit because now we're back in a storm. And we don't have a radar to tell us we are, but you know what? I'm going to peak it up to maybe. Okay, let's do that. Nose over, turn off our lights. As we begin to accelerate. See how high it'll take us up to today. There hasn't been an update since my flight to Parkersburg. No. Yeah, Parkersburg. No, Huntington, West Virginia. And so I'm not expecting much difference in cost indexing here. I just know it was very horrible on that flight. I actually took over and set it to what it should be. According to the flight plan, we should get oh yeah, we're punching through some pretty good cells here. It's a shame they're not, well, they're kind of showing up well, a little bit, yeah. Getting a little bit out of it. That's better than what I usually get. All right, that's cool. Hey, I'm appreciative of that. X-Plane, FlightFactor, thank you. That looks really good. All right. Flight plan says we should be cruising right around 0.80 this time with 0.90, with a 90 for a cost index. Yep, very nice job. For a little bit there, we had some returns. That was good. Usually it's a really weird looking thing, and that was actually not bad. All right, so we are now on the J134 headed to Butler, then 110 to LaJoy. So pretty simple flight planning. Let's see how we look on top here, folks, shall we? Again, down low, this stuff looks really good. Us airline guys kind of stinks at altitude, but maybe it got better with Beta 11. We can argue it's actually 10 or it's actually 11. Potato, potato, whatever you want. All I know is it's actually Beta 11. All right, so that's what it says when you pull up the READMEs and you pull up the data logs. So I go with that. But I do understand the argument. I know it. So, all right. Well, the fog is lifted, so that's cool. So we'll see how well the approach can be shot there. Let me get in here and flip some things around. And for those who may prone to where strobing lights give you problems, folks, I don't know what causes it. I've heard if I turn real world weather off, it goes away, but then we don't get the fun. So I really, really hope they figure it out before someone sues the crap out of them. All right, we're coming up to transition level. Zoom it in. So hang on, I'm going to show you this. Okay, so you see how we're 2981? It says the same thing across the way. I'll show it to you before we do it. Almost there. 2981. Let's get back over here. Okay, let's set it to standard, which is 2992. Oh, we got a caution here. Altitude disagrees. It's not with this one, folks. This is just your standby you can fix. It's actually this one, because it doesn't sync. They don't sync ever in a plane. One of you has to do your job. However, because they know we're only one crew member, this set screw here is another click spot. Click it, altitude disagree goes away, and voila, 2992. First officer finally woke up and did his job. And then we'll set this one just as a nice backup. All right, back up here. 76. How we doing on airspeed? So far, so good. We'll see how it does through the climb out. We'll actually see if it washes out. And what I mean by washout, back into the middle here. Again, my apologies for that strobing, folks. That is very dangerous for people prone to seizures. Climb 1 is what we set at on takeoff. Again, pulling full power on those engines back enough to try to save wear and tear like we did on takeoff, because we could have gone 105% on the engines on takeoff. And not really, I mean, it's great. I mean, you zoom right down the runway and right into the air, but it's time between that major engine stuff you got to do with these planes is what the airlines are trying to stretch. So that's why climb 1 or climb 2, same thing. You're backing that engine off so it ain't ramming 100% the whole time like it is right now. Technically, if we're at the engine setting for climb, it'll automatically shift into that. Let's see. It's close. But we'll go ahead and take it. It'll bump us up a little bit on our... Let's keep climb 1 for now. We'll keep an eyeball on everything here. And like I said, let's get outside. And you can see you get in the thick of the clouds, you get below them and all, they look phenomenal. Get above them, stinks. And that is why I never went to Musfuss. Now, I know with update 10, and I know there's been at least 1 or 2 since, they really addressed the weather with Musfuss. It actually looks pretty doggone great over there. This is the first time they've ever done 3D. I've been told this is what this is. Cloud graphics. Not bad. They got work to do, but not bad at all. What's the airplane hopping around here a lot? That's because of the thunderstorms below us. So, Let's get back in here. I am going to go ahead and stretch out. Let's go to 80. And I'm going to move our radar out too. Let's get it at least 80 as well. I think we've washed out. Yep, we have. We're now doing climb. You see what I mean? Now we're at full power, folks, in the climb, but you know what? That was what? 10 minutes, 15 minutes that we weren't mashing that engine. So, you know, that helps. And it helps fuel and a lot of other things. But that's one of the big things is time between that major stuff you do to the engine. Folks, I don't think you have that kind of money to drop. I know this guy doesn't. All right. All right, folks, I am going to take a quick break here, check the house out. It's getting kind of warm here in the office. I just want to see if it's just that lovely sun that we have out here in St. Louis beating in that window, making it hot, or if the whole house is. So hang on just a second. I'll be right back. All right, folks, I'm back with y'all. Yep, we got to turn the air conditioning on here in St. Louis. I know, crazy to think in the middle of winter turning the air conditioner on. Well, let me rephrase that, middle of fall. All right, so where are we in the climb here? 31. Well, that's actually promising. See how we do. We're bumping see how we do as we get up another 4,000 feet here. But anyway, folks, thanks for coming aboard. Thanks TimDog53 for the follow, Melvin Leroy for the raid, and all the raiders that came with him. Welcome aboard as we head across the skies in X-Plane 12. And from time to time, we do get to see the correct version of this aircraft coming through Mid-America. It should be a 767-200. That's what it was based off of. And then they did some of the stuff you may have heard of. There is no longer an actual boom operator at the boom. He's in the cockpit. That's what I heard in the development of this plane. Now, hopefully they followed through with that, because I think that's pretty cool. Although kind of scary at the same time, even though it's scary to think about air refueling in its whole concept. That the actual guy sticking the airplane is actually in the cockpit looking at it through a camera. Well, the guys in the big planes are going, is he actually seeing how this is not working? So, yeah, we're getting tossed about big time. Let me take a look at the weather charts here real quick. Let's see, I can do the sim brief. All right, what is our SIGs looking like? Well, as soon as we get past the thunderstorms, folks, I don't have any. Well, yeah, we do. Up to 45,000, probably some light chop. So I was looking a little more than light chop, but this whole complex will be over St. Louis later tonight and into tomorrow morning, giving us a good round of heavy thunderstorms and all that good stuff. All right, we're coming up to 35,000. Let's get ready for cruise. And let's see what she ends up cruising at. We got about an hour and 38 minutes, according to Sim Toolkit, to McGuire Air Force Base. Okay, there's the level off, maybe? Yes? No? I didn't go one high, did I? No, I did not. That was kind of... Let's overshoot it. All right, so we are now in cruise. Cruise checklist is pretty simple, folks. There is none. It's either climb or descent. But we will nicely turn off the seatbelt sign so that the cargo in the back can freely get up and move about the cargo cabin. And that's it, folks, until we're about 80 miles from top of descent. Now it's just the fun part of watching it hee-haw around in the sky up here. pretty badly at times, so we'll keep an eyeball on that. Couple of things to be aware of with the FlightFactor. Probably Captain Sim, LDS, and that comes in the form of this right here on your middle control panel. Make sure you're tuning the inner knob. This outer one controls your bank limit, which means it'll control how much the aircraft actually banks when it turns. Not when it's in turbulence, it's at the mercy of God at that point, folks. But if, say our next fix, we have a turn, let's see, we're going 78, well, let's just say it goes to due north, it's 360. If we set it to any of these settings up here from 25, 20, 15, 10, you know, I feel like I'm on a Schoolhouse Rock commercial. 5, that will be the bank it'll take. So it'll turn at a bank of whatever you set, unless you're at auto, and then that factors into the onboard computer to, you know, set the bank for what level you're cruising at. Sometimes the people in the back barely know planes are turning because they'll set down to 5 degrees. So that's a tough one to feel in there. Now, if you crank it up to 30, heck yeah, they'll know that. There goes their coffee off to the side. So, but for now, we're set auto, so the airplane takes care of that at each fix. Now, I do know with Zebo, probably the PMDG as well, 737, you set that bank angle for, say, I think Zebo's, one of the checklists I have says 5% above 20 or 30,000 or 5. And it does do that. It'll set 5 degrees on a turn from, you know, off to the new course, but it's going to overshoot and meander its way back on, which is unfortunate because it should compensate for it in the FMC, which then translates to how it, you know, handles the turns. But hey, it's a simulator. I've said that a million times today. It's a simulator, folks. We can break it, not hurt anyone. In the real world, you can break and hurt people if it doesn't do it right. All right, now we've been leveled off here for a few minutes. Folks, it's doing a heck of a lot better than what it did at 33,000 a couple nights ago. So, all right, I think we'll, okay, that part's might have been an X-plane up against it. So, all right, so I'm just going to kind of quiet myself down, let y'all enjoy the music in the background as we got about an hour or so till we start our descent. Hope y'all are having a great Friday. Sorry, don't know what F&O is today, if there is even one today. But hope y'all enjoy Friday. And I am curious, it looks like about 100 miles or so from here we'll cross St. Louis. Folks, it's pretty clear here, I think. I mean, yeah, there's some high cloudiness. I'll be curious to see if we can see through the cloud deck that's depicted here in X-Plane 12. But so far, Beta 11 is going well. And I'll tell you another thing, I'm 2 flights in a row now I'm happy with. We had a flight where everything here, overhead panel, everything down here, but This screen, this screen, this screen, this screen, this screen, and the accompanying two on the other were Technicolor. It was unreal. Oh, there was a bug, all right. Not a bug that's really bad and dangerous, you know, a virus. But nonetheless, it was a buggy release and a unupdated FlightFactor 767 to counteract the slight change in that beta. But since what I did to get over it, folks, I actually did a fresh install of the latest, and yeah, that means you got to go through and put everything either back in, reset everything, and all of that good stuff. But it's what you see right now. Knock on the old noggin, which is nothing but wood up there. And our Mach numbers are looking a heck of a lot better for 90 today. Oh, I did want you all to see something, especially those that came into the stream from Melvin Leroy's raid. Again, thank you, sir. I want you to see something. This is the opening screen. Do you notice? Let's see. Hang on a second. How the clouds are lowered and picking up here. Really good representation of thunderstorms earlier today. Come over to our Discord channel, folks. I'll get those posted here soon, and you all can see. To me, like I say, in the clouds and below, the weather looks great in X-Plane. Up here, it still looks okay, but it could be better. But I don't have a thing to do with them, so I don't even know what's involved. All right, folks. Looks like St. Louis stands about 50 miles or so ahead of us, and I got a feeling they got a little work to do on the clouds. They should be more high cirrus than cumulus. Maybe not. I haven't looked at the METAR here to find out. Let's do that. You know, I can forget I can do that real easy. Hang on a second, get things. And I just posted those in the screenshot area, folks, for you all to enjoy. Again, there's the Discord right there. If you need it again, let me know. But yeah, that'll give you an idea of what we saw earlier here. Let's see. I'll just do it in SimBrief or Sim Toolkit. We'll go with where I live, KBLV, METAR. A few clouds, 25,000, so yeah. Few at 6,000, that's possible, and 25, so. But we got some serious winds, which I can attest to. 21 knots gusting to 27 here, so folks, definitely a bad hair day. All right, just getting some screens realigned here. I need to make that one bigger. There. All right, that way I can find them quick enough. Well, if this part is over St. Louis, this, no, it's not. Could be getting pretty close to true here. I'm going to have some fun here. Hang on a second, folks, as I try to work out some of the effects here. Okay, we are pretty close to over where I live. I know what I need to turn on. Yaw damper. Maybe that'll help it. Yeah, that's St. Louis below us, folks. Lambert, by the way, is right there. Those of you that frequent us and don't come in on Allegiant, you'll go through that one. And probably not visible as our airport. Just enough clouds in the air. Like I said, I don't think that METAR that I read is what they're showing, but still, even this is a little overkill. But the guy that put together this, again, in this, it might be just a hint, not dark enough in the gray, but folks, it looks great for a 767-300. And I know why he did it, because that's the freighter version. But it's really not all that bad. Accurately, a 767-200 would be the plane to use, plus a tail boom and all of that. Who knows? Maybe FlightFactor will come up with it if there's enough interest. I don't know if there is. Not a lot of people fly the tankers and the cargo planes on, you know, here. They go to DCS, they go to the other platforms for that, but not so much here. And they really, I mean, I'm still shocked DCS is putting a C-130 out. Now I know the AC-130 becomes a real easy to see plane to use, but if they do the cargo, I'm like really shocked. So, but you know, great to see it. Now, if we really be cool if they do a B-17 or a B-24 for the World War II stuff they have, that folks would be unbelievable. That you could fly. Alright folks, we're about to cross over Indianapolis. If you didn't notice below us, the clouds are trickling away. The big city of Indianapolis coming into view. We'll be making a turn almost due east, headed for Jersey and McGuire, Fort Dix, Lakehurst. All of which have pretty good history behind them. Lakehurst, unfortunately, bad history. Hindenburg. McGuire, sending point for a lot of troops out east, headed to Europe and into Afghanistan, along with Fort Dix. Although our airport did a lot too, but we did it with commercial planes, not with these kind. Although I'm sure we had our fair share over there. But anyway, that's where we're headed, folks. And skies are definitely clearing up. So as we work our way towards no, wait a minute, what do we call it? Oh, the Secca City. Or the Spaghetti Bowl, some people called it. Airport's right out under, kind of under the nose there. So, but anyway, folks, hope you're enjoying. We got about an hour to go, so just kind of relax with the music as I am doing, and we'll rejoin you here shortly. We got about 500 to go, probably around the 300-mile mark, so probably a half hour or so, maybe 20 minutes. We'll do our arrival brief, which again is not much. We're going into a military base, so it's not a lot of stuff to know. It's an ILS, but still, we'll go through it, make sure we're up and current with it, and ready to shoot the approach. Who knows? Maybe we'll see ATC. Maybe not. Alright folks, and if you haven't been paying attention, we do have traffic coming in a little higher than we are, probably up around 36. I believe it's a Southwest flight on VATSIM headed to Midway. Doubt we'll see it, but who knows? Never know. Show it coming down now. Should be, let's see here. And it's already below us. Well, if we're gonna see it, it'll be right in this area. Not seeing it, folks. Oh well. Not a factor. Alright, so we'll continue on. Alright, 54 minutes out. Let's go ahead and start talking arrival. Let's see. What was the last METAR? 200 at 9. Okay, so let's just see if FlightAware gives us a hint as to what runways they're using. I know what I'm ready to switch to, but let's see if there's anything going on there. Let's see. Oh, they departed runway 6, but that was 3 hours ago. Looks like they're still using runway 6. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's because of the airports nearby, but I always like to double check just to make sure. All right, because that's what I was planning, and they love to mess it up. Anyway. All right, so let's get that up here. All right, let me bring Sim Toolkit back in. We'll show you now with... Oh, it had the charts I thought of. Oh, it does. Oh, I'm sorry. Looking at it wrong on my end. All right, I just wanted to get that music paused here real quick. Okay, you can see where we are. We still got a little bit of a ways to go here. What I'm going to do, we'll start with the star in, and we are going to be flying from the Harrisburg 5 arrival into here. Now, we are going to do it a little different since we've got pretty good weather. We're going to come off at about Relney right here, head for the initial into McGuire. Okay, so we'll do it a little different. At the same time, let's go ahead and enter it in here. So we're doing the Harris 5 for ILS 6. Now, we're not going to do the CYN coal transition because you can see we got to go down, do a procedure turn to come back up and come in. I just prefer to come straight in if possible. So we'll just do that. All right, so we got all of that entered. Now we're going to check our legs. Make sure we're not holding. It does not appear to be. Okay. All right. So you can see we're going to NAGS and CYN. For now, I'll leave it as is. We'll adjust as we come in. However, let's get back to our chart now. First things first, ATIS, D-ATIS. Oh, let's go see what the ATIS is saying. And I'll get you that link here momentarily, folks. If you click there, and I'm looking for the facility right now. I was not expecting that, folks. I'm not seeing it in the list. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, well, disregard. We don't have D-ATIS. Well, that way to search it. If you know how to find it through other sources, go for it. But if you come across one that says D-ATIS, folks, in the United States, check it out. See if you can see the ATIS before you get there. Gives you a leg up on what runway to choose. But let me throw the caveat out there. VATSIM controllers may say poo-poo on that, and you would do it my way. Got to take it that way. All right, so we're on the Harrisburg 5. Again, the airport is 141 feet above sea level. Oddly enough, as I said in the beginning, one C-141s for the U.S. Air Force used to be based there. No, you can't change the elevation to match a plane. Routing from Harrisburg, we'll go via the 117 radio to Lancaster, via the 296 radio, I'm sorry, via the 104 radio to Trag, then to Bunts, and then on to Rel NY. NAGS, and then CYN if we were doing full procedures. Or not. Like I said, I'm hoping to cut it off right here. Head down, shoot our approach for 6, call it, so we can get our passengers where we need to. Pretty simple, huh? Now, we do see if we do get all the way up here to NAGS, descent below 3,500 prior to NAGS may transition below Philadelphia class Bravo. Okay, fine. All right, again, visually, here we come off Harrisburg to Lancaster, Trag, Bunce, Relay. Some of you already know Bunce and Modena if you fly into this airport a lot, Philly, or not. We'll go to Relney, and then hopefully direct to our destination. That's our game plan, folks. Whether ATC will let me is another story. However, here's our ILS approach that we're going to shoot. ATIS is 110.6. May or may not work here. I know there's settings in XPilot and possibly the sim to make it work. 9 out of 10 times when I'm on VATSIM, it don't work. McGuire approach, tower and ground frequencies are here. Now, we will set 110.1 here in a moment. We'll also set the final approach course. Well, let's see if I can make it so we can see it. Barely. Let me kind of swing. Let me try something. Okay. So 1-1. This is your ILS radio. You got, well, right here's COM 1, COM 3, transponder, which is just up above here. COM 2's under Sim Toolkit right now for the moment. But 110 Uno. Course 058. One 110.1.058. Okay, so we're set. All right. Next up, Fenka. Right here at approximately, it's 5.9, we'll call it 6, from the touchdown area. We need to be at 2,000 feet and with the glide slope, on glide slope. So we'll be coming down then, for sure. Our decision altitude, 331 MSL, 200 AGL. Airport elevation again, 141. Real easy to remember, those of you that were around those planes back then. And the touchdown zone 10 feet lower. There's your missed approach, straight out to Dino. Up to 2,000 feet, and looks like a right-hand holding pattern. So we'll have to do a teardrop entry to get in there. Okay, we need radar, blah, 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 blah. That's all pretty standard stuff. Let's see here. Okay, so here's our vertical. Again, mandatory 2,000 feet at Sison, or actually 11.9. So this looks like if you were in the hold. We'll make Sison at 2,000 feet. Keep it to Fenka, and then get on the glide slope. Pretty simple. Glide slope. For this airplane, I'm gonna guess 140's our approach speed. We haven't figured that up yet. Since I have it up, let's do it. Actually, a little faster. Okay, so they're saying 147. That'll be about close to 160. So we'll plan 150 for now, 800 feet a minute. Probably around 205-ish, 6-ish. So 2 minutes, 6 seconds to the missed approach point. Okay. Military. Says it right here. It is a military base, folks. The ILS 331, that's your decision altitude. Your height is 200 AGL. RVR can be as low as 18 to run at Cat 1. there is a Cat 2 approach here, folks. So you can switch into it. Or a half mile. Circling southeast of runway 24, east of 36. Not advised when the restricted area is active. Do they have that depicted? Yes. We're talking right here. When this is active, circling in that direction, not a good idea. And that, folks, is our arrival. Real quick, the light stick spec full OSIF 2 arrival, reels on the left, or I'm sorry, reels on the end, Pappies on the left. There's our missed approach gear. So there you go. There's the arrival brief. Once we're on the ground, we'll try to come off at Charlie, but if we have to, we'll use the whole runway. Got 10,000 to play with, and we'll park somewhere right in here. Any questions? Good. That's the end of the arrival brief. All right, so we have still no ATC, although TC gets real close to us. Matter of fact, they may try to influence us. Let's put it that way. All right, so let's get Sim Toolkit out of the way. Out of the way. And let's get set for arrival. Let's go to the progress page. Still a good 400 miles out. We'll come back here in about 5-10 minutes, get things set up fully for the arrival into McGuire. And no, folks, the localizer glide slope here is not picking up McGuire. All right, so on we go. All right, folks, sorry for that. Had to make a quick run to the lab there. Oh, looks like DC went down. Huh. All right, so we're coming up over VOR Air, and then LaJoy, and then we're going to be pretty quick getting onto this arrival into McGuire. And we're going to try our best. We'll just see how it goes. Again, for those not familiar, this one is showing terrain. Oh, they're all the same. The right side is on the weather. What's wrong with this thing? Alright, so we got a little bit more time. I see top of descent on here now, 189. Alright, and I ran Topcat, and they're calling, let's see. And now we're 328, they're calling 312. Our landing weight projected by Sim, 312. So we'll go with what's here. Have the anti-ice on at least engines. Okay, so we're showing 148.
5x5.
And we're showing landing speed 143. We'll go with estimating 312 in here. 110, 58. Okay. All right, that looks good. I love the bass line and Stars Align here by Drummer Boy. Non-copyrighted materials music. folks, we are turning for the initial onto the Star, Harrisburg Star into McGuire. As we draw closer to McGuire, get about 80 miles out of top of descent projected, we'll do our own arithmetic and make sure we're in there in the ballpark. But we'll probably start down earlier just to make sure we make it to 2,000 feet at Sisson. And we'll get it lined up too. According to TopCat, we're still looking at 143 for the VREF, and I've set it for 145. So splitting the difference right now. We'll see over Harrisburg what we get. And approaching the approach speed of 148. So probably be about 150, 155 coming in. All right, folks. So I hope you've enjoyed the ride. We had a little snafu in the beginning there where we came off the electric ground power to the APU and something did not go as planned. And we had to reload the FMC, but that only took about 5, 6, 7 minutes to reload and get us going. Thankfully on this trip, had this been crossing the pond into places far, far, far away, who knows? But it's a pain when that happens. Get about 1 or 2 more songs in here, folks. Then we're gonna have to head for sterile cockpit. Okay, so we got our 80 miles out. Okay, let's get that seatbelt sign on. Time for the party and the back end to end. Sorry, boxes and all. You're going to have to get back in your seats. What else we got here? FMC INT ref page. All right. We're 31:45. We're pretty close on it right now. We're getting there. Like I said, I split the difference. Auto brake will go to 3. EFIS to the decision height. Let's see here. First thing I'm going to do is start dialing these back. One last look, decision height here for the ILS. 200. Okay, so we're set there. Okay. And ILS pedestal set 110. .10 at 58, so that's good. And finally, we'll get up here. Seatbelts in, no smoking set, lights good. Let's go ahead and set our initial descent, which I don't think we have. Then I will set 5,000. Yeah, that should work out perfectly. Oh, top of descent changed. Oh, that's because I moved it. All right, now, real quick here, folks. I'm going to go ahead and let it get up to top of descent here. That's right, I changed it. Instead of going down to 2, we're going down to 5 plus. Cut out the run down to CYN and all of that. A lot of miles got cut off. All right, so if you wanted to start your descent, a couple of ways. You could always go VS and start it that way, or depending which Boeing aircraft you're in, get to the descent page of your VNAV, or click descent in this case and click descent now. And it is going to usually say drag needed. and we should start seeing a slight slowdown here. We don't need many things on the speed brakes, usually just pulling the power back slow, but that's how you do it, folks. And the 737, this aircraft, probably the 757, but if you have a VNAV page, click it, next page to the descent page, and then look for descend now. Also, if you're in Europe or other countries where they flip you around on transition levels all over the place, forecast, look for that here. Now on this one, it's right here. But if you click forecast, you'll put the transition level usually up here. All right, so little tips here to help you with this plane, folks, that I've learned with many of the Boeing aircraft. Now, some I am not familiar with, like the MD-11, only because I don't have it. And no offense, really don't want it. So we'll stay away from it in the MD-80. So still got an FMC message. Oh, we are still going a little hot. Okay. Pop in some speed brakes. All right, so we are starting down. Let me folks, hope y'all are having a great Friday as we head into the weekend. I got to work tomorrow 24 hours, but hope you all have a great night and a great weekend ahead of you. I'll be home Sunday, hopefully back on stream Monday, and so I hope you all have a great weekend. Stay safe, and look forward to seeing you all again on Monday. If you all do like the stream, mash that follow button. We'd love to see you on our next stream. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I haven't even begun to think that one out. But guarantee it will be fun. Just crossing Harrisburg, entering the Harrisburg 5 arrival. Neat feature of NavGraph charts, folks, with Sim Toolkit or in its standalone desktop. You can overlay the chart on your high altitude chart. So when it says, well, in this case it doesn't, but if it were to say not to scale here, well, you'd see it until it did get to where it is to scale on it. Kind of a neat feature. Charts 8, I think they call it, is coming soon, folks. So not sure what it's going to take to get it. There's an email I haven't had a lot of time to read. I'll get into it, but be watching for it. It's supposedly going to overlay weather, possibly some other stuff, so it could be interesting to see. Something new to learn, folks. Not learning something every day. Need to start checking your pulse. Let's take a look outside real quick. As we come over Harrisburg, we're heading down into this can't be Middletown. I think it is. That looks like, holy mackerel. Is that long to get down here? It sure is. There's a Middletown Airport, folks, from 25,000 feet up. 3 Mile Island would have been right here. And So there you go, folks, as we roll across, headed towards Lancaster. Deep in the heart of Amish country here in PA. My folks live out in this area, so if they are watching the video, hi. Hi, Mom. No. As everyone says. But let them get an idea of what we see from our flyover vantage. All right, let's get back in here. We're coming up on Lancaster, and you can see where our computer is projecting the 5,000 foot mark. Hang on, did I press? I think I did, yeah. Just easy way to find out if I got it right. Let's see. Yep, I did. Okay. And I probably will drop it down another notch here, folks, at RELNI, just so that I don't have troubles. Getting a little smattering of clouds out here. Hard to believe, about 6-ish hours ago, folks, they were very close to 0-0 on fog. It's all gone. Actually, the forecast was not looking good either, so not really sure who blew that one. All right, so we're coming through 18,000. Let's zoom in so I can show off again. Little feature here. All right, the altimeter where we're going, 3030. Okay. Now we can set this one, and you see the altitude disagree doesn't go away. And that is because it's not this one that's messed up. We got them set to 3030. It's this one. Click the set screw, which is a click spot. There it goes. And voila, we're set. All right, we should be getting to a point where we're going to decelerate. And there we go, folks, right to the ILS and in. I'm just lowering the range here to make it somewhat more readable. No weather out here, so I could conceivably shut that down, but that's for safety. Keep it on till we touch down. Melvin, Leroy. I believe it does, Melvin Leroy, but I don't have the 757 to fully confirm that, but I think it does. You have one set screw here for the disagree on the altimeters. Then you have this one here next to speed for toga. And no, doesn't start a toga party, folks. Sorry. I know some of you are disappointed now. Well, dude, you deserve a much bigger nap. on your birthday. Still going, still kicking. Matter of fact, we're about to start slowing down. Oh, cool. I'll bet you if it has toga, it's a good chance it might have it. They are virtually the same cockpit. I know the 57, I think, has some differences to the PFD and nav display. And so supposedly this plane does too, but I am not finding them. Which is fine. I kind of like the retro look. And definitely at relay, rel NY, we will shut the music down. We're announcing the arrival of Reach 18 into McGuire Air Force Base as we begin to slow it down. This kind of disappointed me last flight. Give it a little further. That should have dropped already. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, duh. As we drop below 10,000, lights on. All right. All right, time for a sterile cockpit. All right, folks, if you haven't done it yet while we're getting slowed up here, now's a good time. Put in a prediction what you think I'll be able to pull off for a landing here. Probably will, well, I know it will be visual. We'll start with the ILS till I make sure I see the runway. But it's simply an exclamation mark followed by predict, PREDICT, space, and a negative number. All right, so let's go ahead now and set for 2,000. As we're right where I want to be. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're coming off rail 9 direct. Miles out. Let's go ahead. It's doing it for us. Good deal. Okay. Well, there's the burbs of Philadelphia. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, because they love. If you don't love them, they love to kill you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I speak out of turn there for Philadelphia? All right, so let me get in here, make sure altimeters are still fairly decently close. Higher. And 29. Okay, now this will not cause an altitude disagree, but again, you can use the set screw and you will see that it's set. I'm going off the METAR, folks. And we'll set this one 20 just as a backup in case, well, in case we have a snafu with this one. Okay, and as we get closer, we'll begin slowing her up. Little fast. So, and slowing us up to 220. Actually, 210. All right, here we go, folks. Final checks for approach. We've got transition set, anti-ice, I believe we have off. We do. Runway lights on, turn off lights on, speed brake as required. Are we at 210 yet? Getting close. Let's see, I lost myself here. VNav off, speed dial set, apps. Okay, ILS will confirm the localizer as we get closer, kinda, sorta. Able to tell who it is. That I don't like in this plane. Set to go. Alright, can't kick flaps until we get those spoilers in more. Alright, we're under 220, spoilers in. Okay, flaps are set to 5. Let's check it. Controllers. I'm going to go ahead, knock it down one more and turn off trim. Actually, I'm going to go 2. Because that is incorrect. Okay, I think we're getting our localizer in. Thing is, I don't know how to verify. Let me see if I... I can. Very weak, but I. Okay. Okay, approach set. About to level off here. Let's check. All right. McGuire traffic reach 18, approximately 15 miles east, or correction, west of the field, landing runway 6. Let's go ahead and set 180. It's not your flaps. Of course, we oversped them. All right, we got the field in sight by chance. Joining ILS. I got a runway. You're down. I have an airplane. Set. Hey, let's get some more flaps in. And McGuire traffic, reach 18, short final, runway 6.
1,000.
Oh, there's the happies. My trim.
Sink rate. Minimum. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
I'll take the whole runway. Hi folks, welcome into McGuire Air Force Base with the KC-46, also known as the Pegasus. And McGuire traffic reach 18 heavy, clear, runway 6 at the end. Quick clean up here, folks. All right, so flaps, speeds, radar to test, flight directors off, landing lights off. Apu on. And let's see, where do I want to park this beast? I guess we'll go to the main ramp. Where's stops? So somewhere around Gulf. Okay, getting some bearings here, folks. Here we go.
Trenton traffic, Gulfstream 800 Juliet Hotel, taxi runway 16 from Signature via Hotel, Trenton.
I did think about this ramp right in front of us, folks, but I think we'll head down where I know the KC-10s and C-17s park, and I think some KC-46s are in there now. All right. Come off here at the AM ops. Ember. Off. Something tells me I'm facing the wrong way. All right, brake set. All right, folks, let's see. What kind of messages do we have? Okay, it's fine. Heading up here. Gen's on. It's on. Real quick. Responder. That's our clue. All right, so engine selectors off, fuel, cut off pumps. Everything as is up here. And we're gonna get ready, do some replays here, if it will allow us. All right, so first thing I want to do is shut down. File. Closing out. And we'll do fresh here at Sim Air Force and make sure the pirate see what it says on it. Landing rate 254, so that's good. All right, next off will be coming off VATSIM, because, well, quite frankly, it doesn't like us being on VATSIM and going back and forth. Can't imagine why. And then let's bring up some toolkit. Okay, so you can kind of see this is what was planned, and we cut it off here and came in. No big deal. There's our landing report, folks. Let me go up here, finish the flight. Don't always have to do that, folks. You just got to make sure you do, otherwise you may not get your landing report. Okay, from your logbook, that's where it'll take you when you finish. Go to view details, a little bit more. There's the 270, 154, so a little fast. But now we'll get the full report. All right, real quick, for those who haven't really got a big aviation knowledge, where you're supposed to land is from this white line. It's got arrows when you got a displaced threshold like this. That tells you this is where the landing zone starts. Real world. And every one of these marks on the runway at the approach end are 500 feet apart. The end of the landing zone is right here, as you don't see any more marks. So the goal, land between this one and this blue dot back here, or what's called the threshold. I landed 2,500 feet down. That's because I was running a little hot. I tried slowing it up, folks. It just was not wanting it. But that's okay. Still got within the landing zone. We were left of the center line by 9 feet. Okay, that's not all that bad on a 150-foot runway. Wide body,
you're starting to get a little where you might want to be concerned, because you only get 75 feet either side of that line. 9-10 feet's not bad, but you're not a fighter. Fighters land over them, yes, when they come in pairs. The goal that we shoot for on a visual, right here, that's what we're aiming for. Okay, it's very easy to see in flight, so that's why it's the aiming point. Usually your PAPIs are very close by here. They're up here a little bit. That'll allow you to touch it here. And as you can see, I landed here still within the landing zone. Also, some other numbers off by about a degree or so here. Speed, we're a little hot. We were supposed to be around 145. We're about 10 knots faster. So that helped us to float. But we still got 270 out of it, folks. I mean, that's not bad when you come into it and boil it down. But yeah, I love these landing reports Sim Toolkit gives there, Melvin. Just unbelievable. So, see what else I've missed. It's actually, this flight is about 100% better than my first flight in it with X-Plane 12. Okay, correction, strike that. There were two others that weren't too bad. One went Technicolor on me. Everything here was not what you see. It was wild. But overall, this is a good plane in X-Plane 12. I like it. So the last flight I flew in it, I had the same performance number, cost index of 90, but it would not get me above 0.69. I even bumped it up to 190, and it still didn't budge much. So we ended up flying our own Mach. But yeah, I would say this plane's outstanding. It's good. The sim itself is always getting better. The fun one to look at is Memphis, scenery-wise, because you got floating scenery. So, but we weren't flying Memphis, so it's not a problem. All right, folks, here's the part, though, that can be problemsome. And I know for the last 2 or 3 flights, it's actually worked. So let's see if it'll work again. All right, so we are off VATSIM, and I'm going to go ahead and shut down Sim Toolkit. I don't like anything that can record, aside from OBS. In an OBS, I'm not going to say anything negative, but there's a lot I could say. Oh, excuse me. Now I'm getting the hiccups. All right, folks. So let's see if it'll let us roll backwards. Nice sunset. Let's take a look at that real quick. Not too bad. I think the sun still is a little too big, but I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while, so hopefully it looks good to you all there before I put this in reverse. And oh, it's letting us. It's one thing you can't do that I know of in Musfus, is easily do what I'm doing. Folks, I could go all the way back to McConnell and run the recording, but I'd rather not. We'll do something in flight. Let's see where this puts us. Oh, perfect. Let me get in flight here. Turn off those yaw damn. Well, no, the engines will be on in a second. So I saw the rudder kick. That's why. All right, let us look out the cockpit. But we're going to have to fast forward. All right, let's get some music, maestro. yes, the plane hopping around means yours truly is flying it. That fall foliage doesn't look too bad, folks. Really doesn't look too bad. We'll have to get out where it really is. I think somebody has an event coming. That did look good. That looks pretty good. Setting sun behind it. Not bad. Back here a couple more times. Let's get into Melvin Leroy's seat. Yeah, we put him outside, folks. He needed a little fresh air. Wake him up on his birthday so he doesn't miss it. Not bad. See how the other side is. Well, the wing flex, I will say, they definitely have that fixed. Wings aren't bent in half like they were a few times prior. Oh. It's one more time. Alright, folks, well, this has been a blast. That was just awesome. came in, enjoyed the stream with everyone else. Those. Why am I not typing? So I hope you all have a great weekend. See you Monday. God bless you all. Have a grand